the Knicks and Cavaliers meet in the playoffs, and it was a dogfight. I mean, came down to the last few moments, and the city of New York, Stephen A. Smith, the cheerleader of the New York Knicks, could not be more ecstatic. Keep in mind, I mean, I'm not here to rip the Knicks, but I'm going to rip them for a second. Difference between different fan bases, right? Like Boston, they won their game, they won 30 points, and the coach was there saying, like, we could be a lot better than we were. The Knicks, on the other hand, win a nail biter and win their first playoff game, against the Cavaliers. There's still 3 more games to win, still 6 more games, and he's ecstatic. He's waving his pom-pom. So that's my first takeaway with the Knicks in the Cavaliers series. Also, I think this is a game that's going to go 6-7 games, and I also think it's the battle of who's going to lose in the second round of the Celtics. Because I believe they match up with the Celtics after this playoff. Whoever wins this takes the Celtics.
Yeah, well, 4 and 5 plays 1 or 8, so they'd probably play the Heat or the Bucks, but
they're going to face the I don't know.
Yeah, so like if the Knicks next round will still be a dogfight, and next round will still go 7. But I feel like for the Knicks to win a series, all of them are probably going to go 7 because you need Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, all of those guys to have their best game on the same night to be able to win. Because Donovan Mitchell, though, hit you with his best punch on the road, scored 38 points, and Donovan Mitchell, this is what he's been doing for the past few years in the playoffs. He's been playing really good, but it's unfortunate to see because it looked like Donovan Mitchell went to Cleveland from Utah because he kept having really good regular seasons, and then they were hitting their heads on the wall every time in the playoffs. Well, the Jazz were typically like the 2, 3, or 1 seed whenever they're in the West, and they would lose in the first or second round. And it's not looking any different in Cleveland because Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen didn't look very good versus the New York Knicks. And then the Knicks were able to run up and down the court on them. And Donovan Mitchell had more points than Jalen Brunson, but don't forget what Jalen Brunson did to Donovan Mitchell in the first round last year when the Dallas Mavericks matched up with the Utah Jazz, because they're former college buddies. They played on the same team, and while Donovan is more talented and he's probably the better player, it always seems like Jalen Brunson has that swagger and he always gets the best of him. And this team really reminds me of the Isaiah Thomas Celtics, where you just have that scrappy point guard who's going to go out there and get you a bucket. And he came up clutch with Jalen Brunson. And then you have like Bradley Beal and John Wall on the Wizards, but then you have this tough, gritty team. They're led by a shorter guard in Jalen Brunson. And I think if that's what you're bringing to the table and you can be reminiscent what the Celtics were with Isaiah Thomas, I mean, that team still got to a conference championship. So I feel like the New York Knicks, you face the Bucks with a banged up Giannis, or you face the Miami Heat in the second round, you have a legitimate shot to go to the conference finals. And if you're the Cavs, you've matched up with the Celtics really well all year long, and Giannis is hurt. There's blood in the water. Now you have to win the series. And if you don't, colossal failure, especially after the regular season you had. If you let the New York Knicks just walk in there game 1, I think the series is going to be a dogfight, but so far in the clutch, it's looking like Jalen Brunson's the guy. And what history tells us is he does get the better of Donovan Mitchell, plays a little bit harder on defense, but we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a dogfight.
I think the Cavs are still going to win. I think they just have the better team overall, but it's going to be a dogfight. And I think Evan Mobley's going to play better than he did this past game. Yeah. In the Knicks, a lot of early momentum. I think they definitely have the momentum to start the series, but moving forward, give me the Cavs to win this series still. I think they still win in 6.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks could still push it to 7, however.
Yeah, I just think this is a team, though, that Julius Randle can have his way. Like, I think Evan Mobley was good and Jarrett Allen, but it feels like in the playoffs, like you win 1 in Cleveland. I feel like this is going to be 2-2, and you probably see the Cavs leading 3-2, but I feel like you get to a game 7 with Donovan Mitchell, all the pressure's on the Cavs. And when you're a team who hasn't proven anything yet and all the pressure's on you, it's like no one's expecting the Knicks to win the series. And that's something that's also huge, but we'll also learn a lot about the coaches. Tom Thibodeau has some playoff experience. Is the Cavs coach going to be able to rise to the occasion? We'll see.